Hello, Curious. Losing a loved one is never an easy thing, and one person who knows that all too well is Pulp Fiction actor John Travolta. He tragically lost his teenage son Jett when he was just 16 years old, and last year he also lost his wife Kelly Preston. And so Travolta became a single father of 2 children. How has the actor coped with all of the losses that he experienced in his life? How does he remember his wife Kelly? And what thing that his 10-year-old son is terrified of did John reveal in a recent interview? And is he dealing with being a single father? Stay with us until the very end to find out all about the Grease star and the latest news about his family. But before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos, which we publish every single day. It is never an easy thing to say goodbye to someone close to you, and even more difficult if it's being a parent and having to say goodbye to your child. And that pain is something that John Travolta and his wife Kelly Preston had to go through when in 2009 their 16-year-old son Jett passed away after suffering from an epileptic seizure. And while the family never talked much about the teen during the interviews, they had often shared tributes on him to their social media. And this year, April 14th, would have marked the actor's late son's 29th birthday, and both John as well as his daughter Ella took to their Instagram pages to share photos with Jett and sending him the best wishes as well as their love. But that is not the only tragedy that the Travoltas experienced, as this year marked the 1-year anniversary since Kelly Preston, to whom the Saturday Night Fever actor was married to for nearly 3 decades and had lost her life to cancer. And the news came as a surprise to many, as the family kept her illness a secret from the public. And it was only on July 13th of 2020 that the actor took to his Instagram to announce the news to the public by posting a photo of his wife alongside a message where he thanked the doctors who had helped her as well as the fans for the wishes and that they might send to his family. And we're not going to talk too much about the details about Jett and Kelly's passings, as we have done so in a previous video, and if you want to check them out you can do so by clicking on the link above. But for now, stay with us to find out how the actor's youngest son has been doing this past year. Well, since then, he has often posted tributes to his late wife on social media, and including on her birthday as well as on Mother's Day. And back in July, he took to his Instagram to share a trailer of the movie of Off the Rails that stars Jenny Seagrove, Sally Phillips, and Judi Dench, and the late Kelly Preston, making that the last production with her participation. And promoting the movie, Travolta wrote, "Off the Rails is Kelly's last film that she was very proud of it, and of all the wonderful talent that she got to work with in it." And the movie was released on July 23rd in the UK. However, whether or not or when it will be released in the US is unknown at the moment, though it could be possible that it will be a straight DVD release, but nothing has been announced or confirmed. In the year since the tragic news, John had spoken about Kelly in interviews and the difficulty with dealing with her passing following those days, and speaking with Esquire Spain about what he went through following her passing. The actor talked about how living in mourning is something personal, but for him, before he could deal with this on his own heartbreak, he had to be there for 21-year-old Ella and 10-year-old Benjamin, but that eventually he needed to step away and focus on his own feelings. And speaking with a reporter, he said, "The first thing you should do when you experience grief is to go to a place where you can mourn, without any interference. And even though it's great to have company, sometimes it just becomes like you're helping them rather than putting yourself to work and overcoming your feelings of loss and grief." And as difficult as that might have been for the A-lister that had determined to move forward and heal even more and made the symbolic move to sell his family's first home, along with other properties that he owned with Preston, which a source close to Gotti, the actor, revealed that he's doing so in hopes that it will help him put some of the pain behind him. And they also went on to add that John knows that Kelly would have wanted him to continue living his life and not wallow in sadness, for both of his sake of his children and for his sake. And one of the properties that he sold was an oceanfront property in Islesboro, which was an island located off the coast of Maine, which was listed for $5 million. And most recently, as per the New York Post, the 2-time Oscar nominee has also sold his mansion near the Church of Scientology headquarters, of which he's a member, in Florida for $4 million. And if the source is right that he's doing this in a bid to move on with his life and then selling property, looks like a big milestone, as according to the media reports, Kelly had passed away in the house. So, speaking of the moving following the tragedy, such as losing a child and his wife, is something that Joe Biden knows all too well, as it's something that he has experienced himself. But please tell me, do you think that Travolta will be able to do the same? And if you want to know more about Biden, why not check out our previous videos by clicking on the link above? Though for now, stay with us to find out how John's youngest son has been dealing with all of this. The source also went on to talk more about how the actor has been focusing on his children, and they have not only lost their mother, but in the past, their brother as well. However, the latter would apply more to Ella, as Ben was born after Jett's passing. So the source, speaking with OK Magazine, revealed that the family of 3 has been doing spiritual counseling pretty much every single day, and adding that John knows that he needs to be strong for his children, but that in reality, they are the ones who give him strength. And speaking about the actor's feelings, and the source revealed, without them, he's not sure he could get up in the morning. Being there for his children is something that John has opened up about himself, and speaking with Kevin Hart on Heart to Heart this series, and he said that in years to come, his focus is on his 2 children, and it was in that interview that Travolta had talked about the fears that he has with his children, and he opened up about how once during a walk with his neighborhood with his son Ben, at the time 10-year-old, and the dad, that he was, very afraid to lose him too, and this had promoted the actor to have a very candid conversation with the boy about life and death. So speaking with Hart, the actor went on to say, "I said, well, it's a very different thing, and I went through the differences about my longevity and her limited life," and he also went on to say that knowing that his son loves to know the truth behind him, and that just being honest and saying that no one knows when they're going to go or when they're going to stay. And he brought up the boy's brothers Jett, saying that he left them at 16, which was way too young, as well as Kelly, who had left him at the age of 57, which was also way too young. And finishing off the conversation, as well as he said in the interview, he said that who can really say when their time will come, and adding, "I could die tomorrow. You could. Anybody can." But it wasn't just this candid talk that Travolta had with his son, as the boy made him completely change his viewpoint on life. And talking with the host, John revealed that he admitted that his son was surprised that being in his late 60s made him find himself in his last chapter of his life, when he feels eternally 21 at heart. And he said that when Ben asked him if he remembered 30 years ago, and if it felt a long time to him, which he replied yes to, and then he asked him if he sees himself living another 30 years, to which once again he replied yes. And to that, the 10-year-old said to him, "What's wrong with that?" And it was this realization that made him change his view on life. And as we mentioned before, he plans to spend those years to come to focusing on his children, and that also includes his 21-year-old daughter, Ella Blue, who is tackling the world of acting. And in 2009 and 2019, she had previously acted in movies, but also starred with her father, and namely in Old Dogs and The Poison Rose. But right now, she is getting ready to play the lead in the upcoming movie titled Get Lost, which is a reimagining of Alice in Wonderland, and in which, as you might have guessed, she is playing Alice. So talking about his daughter in an interview, he revealed that she is already set with her career, as she is a brilliant actress, songwriter, and singer. Also adding that she is already on her way when talking about her future career. And the source, which spoke about how the Saturday Night Fever actor was doing, was also adding that the star knows that his wife would have been thrilled for their little girl, and for the following in their footsteps into the world of acting. It seems that the Grease actor's hard work has paid off, as his daughter seems to appreciate all of his help and love. And on Father's Day, she took to her Instagram to write a heartfelt message to her dad, and posting a family photo to her family of 3, she wrote, "You make parenting look so easy, though it's not always as it is, and you make every day better than the one before it. You bring joy to us when we are down. You are our best friend, and we love you to the moon and back around. I hope to even be as half as good a parent as you someday." As for Ben, it is unclear right now whether he had caught the acting bug, as in an interview when John was talking about loving the life of an actor and the performer, he added that he needs to get his son going, and most likely referring to trying to get him either started in the world of acting or simply getting him interested in pursuing the same career as his parents or his sister. So curious, what are your thoughts on how John Travolta has been handling the situation following his wife's passing? And what do you think of his honesty with his son about life and death? Are you interested in seeing Ella's acting debut when her film Get Lost is premiered? And do you think that Ben will follow in their footsteps? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Until next time!